Did you know that last year, work-related stress was responsible for 49% of working days lost, which accounted for 17.1 million working days lost in the UK, across 875,000 sufferers. This means, on average, each sufferer took approximately 19 working days off work, just under 4 weeks. Just think about this. If you or your colleagues had to take 19 unplanned working days off, what kind of impact would that have on your company, on the colleagues that you work with, on the clients that you work with? I'm sure we can all agree this would probably be catastrophic. But workplace stress has much more of an impact than just time off work. And in this video, I'm going to share 3 dangers of workplace stress and what can be done about it. And I'm going to give you 3 stories to help you understand and paint a picture. 1. Meet Claire. Claire is known for her radiant energy and sharp intellect. She's a huge asset in her fast-paced job role at one of the top marketing firms. Her colleagues admire and look up to her for her creative and efficient marketing campaigns. But beneath the surface, a storm is brewing. As Claire's company expanded, her workload doubled. Mornings became earlier, nights became longer, and work started to creep into her weekends. Although under extra pressure, Claire was determined to push through it and not let it stop her. She wanted to live up to her superwoman status given to her by her boss. But with great power came even greater pressure. 3 months into this relentless pressure, Claire started to notice her first sign of trouble. A nagging and persistent cough started to appear that she couldn't seem to shake. At first, she just shrugged it off as seasonal flu. But when the symptoms persisted, Claire began to worry. Her vibrant energy began to dwindle and fatigue started to set in. And this seemed to make daily tasks feel like she was running a marathon. Then one morning, Claire's body and immune system decided it had had enough. Mid-presentation, a dizzy spell hit her so violently that the room began to spin. The room, which was full of executives, faded into blurry people as she collapsed to the floor. When she woke up in the hospital, the diagnosis was clear. Work stress had got her to complete exhaustion, which had weakened her immune system. The doctor's words were a wake-up call. Your body has been fighting a battle it cannot win without rest. Claire had been so engrossed in her responsibilities that she neglected the most important one, her health. Workplace stress had got her to a point that had a major impact in her life. But determined to turn her life around, Claire returned to work with a new mindset and perspective. She negotiated reasonable deadlines, delegated more efficiently, and most importantly, prioritized her health. Her comeback was powerful because she worked smarter, not harder. Claire's story serves as a reminder the silent toll stress can have on our bodies and our immune system. And research shows there is such thing as stress sickness. This article suggests that stress can reduce the number of natural killer cells or lymphocytes in the body which are needed to fight viruses, which explains why Claire eventually got sick. But a weakened immune system is just one of the dangers of workplace stress. And to highlight the next danger, we're going to look at the story of Jeremy Lin. Jeremy is a rising star in the tech industry. He is one of the best coders in his company. As a lead developer, his name was synonymous with innovation. But Jeremy was fighting a silent battle that nobody knew anything about. One that wasn't to do with coding, but was to do with his mind. The company's environment was extremely fast-paced, with a constant buzz of ideas and pressure to outperform competitors. As exciting as it seemed, it came with constant stress and long hours. But Jeremy thrived under pressure, or so it seemed. He was the first to arrive and the last to leave. But as the company grew, so did the demands, and it started to take its toll. Jeremy began to get irritated at small inconveniences, and he started to have a dread on Sunday evenings thinking about the work that he was to return to. As months passed, his symptoms worsened. He started to experience severe anxiety attacks where his heart raced uncontrollably. His thoughts spiraled out of control and he started to feel trapped. Then one late evening, Jeremy felt an overwhelming sense of despair and started to cry uncontrollably. Tears streamed down his face, and this is when he realized that his mental health was taking a battering. Realizing he couldn't continue like this, Jeremy looked for help. Therapy helped him to realize that workplace stress had been continuously punching his mental health. He learned that even a determined man like him had his limits. Jeremy decided to take action. He set clear boundaries between work and personal life. He started to implement hobbies that brought him joy, and over time, he started to feel himself again. Jeremy also became an advocate for employee mental health. His story helped his company see the importance of supporting their employees and the impact workplace stress can have on mental health. And sadly, this study shows that those who have felt stressed at some point in their lives, 16% had self-harmed and 32% said they had suicidal thoughts and feelings. Workplace stress can have a major impact on employees, and we need to take it seriously. Now, before we come on to the third danger of workplace stress, if you work for a company who want free resources to help support the health and well-being of employees, join the free email list. I've left the link in the description box. And if you've taken value from this video so far, hit that like button to support the channel and subscribe for more content to support those in the workplace. Now, the third danger, in my opinion, is possibly the most important, but this story will help to highlight just how important it is. John Ramirez is a powerhouse in the financial sector. He leads a team of analysts at a major bank, and his job is a high-stakes game of numbers and nerves where million-pound deals are made before most people have even had their morning coffee. Known for his wit and sharp decision-making, John often works long into the evening and is admired by colleagues for his dedication. And they often joke that he runs on caffeine and sheer willpower. But beneath the exterior, the pressures of the job are adding up. It was a typical Tuesday morning when the first warning came. During a tense conference call, John felt a sharp pain in his chest. He dismissed it as indigestion and a minor inconvenience that he didn't have time for. But the pain didn't care about John's schedule. As the weeks went by, episodes became more frequent. But then one day, John felt sharp pain that was 10 times worse than the previous episodes. His colleagues noticed and called an ambulance immediately, and he was rushed into hospital. John had suffered a mild heart attack due to workplace stress. The doctor's words to John were very clear. You can decide to slow down now or come to a complete stop permanently. The choice is yours. This was a wake-up call John needed. He learned that managing workplace stress wasn't a badge of honor. It was a silent killer waiting to pounce. John decided things had to change. He delegated more, prioritized his health through diet and exercise, and found hobbies that took him away from work and allowed him to relax. John was now taking care of his health. Now, research shows that job strain or effort-reward imbalance can increase coronary heart disease by as much as 49%. The data shows that work stress increases the risk of heart disease, especially among men. And work stress is something that all companies need to work towards reducing. Now, there are many things that can contribute to stress, as well as the things that I've mentioned. And one of those things is workplace culture. A company that ignores workplace culture can create a stressful environment. But to avoid that and understand the dangers of ignoring workplace culture, you should watch this video next.